Alright guys, what's going on? So we got another video today. We're looking at a Boker today. And this is the Boker Kwaiken. And this is the new titanium version. Now this is relatively new. It hasn't been on the market very long. There's a few videos on YouTube about it. So I'm not the first. And I wanted to get it right when it came out, but it happened to come out right during the holidays, and I'd already been strapped for cash, with presents and stuff, and already bought a couple knives, so waited, and I got one just recently. I got it off a secondary market. I couldn't find one in stock anywhere. Knife Center and Blade HQ were out of them. So, but the unique thing about this model of the Kwaiken is it's a flipper, and it's got titanium scales and a titanium backspacer. So that's pretty awesome. The clip's a little different also. It's the original Kwaiken clip is just one piece. This has got this part milled out, so it's a little bit lighter, but the overall knife is heavier, and I'll put the weight in the description below. But overall the knife feels much nicer than the original Kwaiken in my opinion, and I think that's going to happen anytime you add titanium to the mix instead of just G10, or the originals had micarta, then they came out with the orange G10. I had a carbon fiber version that I got, that Alex Dietz had pimped, and he did his flipper mod on it. Now I will say this flipper is working. It will work better than the flipper mod will. It's actually a dedicated flipper, and it looks, from what I've seen, some pictures on Instagram of a couple guys that actually have the custom Kwaiken by Lucas Burnley. It looks almost identical to the custom, so they've done a really good job of replicating this knife and making it affordable. They go for about 125, 130 bucks. So they're a little bit more expensive than the original Kwaiken, which comes in under 100. But you do get upgraded scales with titanium. It gives the knife a better feel, in my opinion. The flipper works just fine, and you just gotta love that blade shape. And I wish I had my original Kwaiken to compare it, but I sold it to a fellow YouTuber. So, and I remember the blade being a little different. I could be wrong, and someone tell me if they've got both. I don't remember this swedge right here being there. I remember thought it was just straight across. So it's pretty sweet looking. I love the Kwaiken blade style. It's that Japanese, samurai style blade. Really dig it. So actually, I could be wrong on the samurai part, but it is Japanese. Anyway, they did stick with the Aus 8 steel. The original rumors that it was going to be 440C, which would have been better. I really like 440C steel, but there is advantages to Aus 8. It does sharpen up pretty fast. It did a nice stonewash on the blade that I really dig. So and the liner lock works great. And excuse the band-aid. My Spyderco Tenacious pretty much took the tip of my thumb off. So I don't have that on there. I've got no skin right there, and it's just like this open wound, and it's nasty. So anyway, back to the Kwaiken. The liner lock works really well. I heard someone complain that it hurts their finger, which I don't experience that in any way, shape, or form, so that's good. Buttery smooth. This one's perfectly centered. It's got IKBS, so it just flips so nice, and then it's just really smooth knife. So I love a smooth flipper on bearings, man. It's just hard to beat. I mean, my EDC has been 801, and this thing is just as smooth on bearings. So that bearings really helps with flippers. And some have been complaining that the design of the flipper is a little strange. It's definitely different. If you look at the 801, which has a good amount of jimping, and you look at the Kwaiken, you can see why. I mean, this flipper is your more standard, push down, or you can flip it like a light switch. This one, because it's so smooth, and it's actually never failed on me. Oh, got it to do it there. Just put even that takes very little pressure to use it. I guess if you're not used to flipping knives, you might have an issue, but opening it has definitely not been an issue. It's buttery smooth. So yeah, definitely stoked about this one. When I heard they were coming out with a actual flipper model, based on the Burnley custom, I was really excited because the thumb disc before didn't really work too well, and I didn't really like my Kwaiken until I got it. Actually sold my original one, and bought the pimped one that had the flipper mod that Alex does. So, but this one is by far my favorite Kwaiken. Love the titanium handles, and love the new pod clip design. Just a sleek, attractive looking knife. I mean, it's a little heavier, so it's not really like a gentleman's carry, and it's a little long, and the blade is pretty good size. I think that's a 3.5-inch blade. Yep, 3.5-inch blade. So it's, you know, it's a little bigger for that, but it's a great EDC knife. I mean, I love it. Smooth in the pocket. Been carrying it today. I got it in the mail today, and been digging it for show. So love the Kwaiken. Glad I have another one back. Wish they would have done a little better with the steel, but you know, for your typical EDC tasks, OS8 is gonna be just fine, and it will take a nice edge. Speaking of edges, let's see how sharp it came from Boker. No, I didn't, and I did get this used, but I don't think it had ever been cut or anything done with it. It was pretty. I think he had got it and just. Yeah, it's plenty sharp. Kind of, I don't know, kind of has a toothy edge, I'll tell you. Yeah, it's plenty sharp. I mean, look at that. So that's nice. I'll probably end up sharpening it up on my KME. That'll give it a nice polished edge. So, alright guys, these are my initial impressions of the Boker Kwaiken Flipper in titanium. Cool knife, definitely for the money. The fit and finish on this knife is really, really nice for the price point. I mean, you can tell that Lucas Burnley definitely had a lot to do with this knife, because it's got a really, I mean, the fit and finish is really nice. And it was on the original Kwaiken as well, but even better on this one. So it's definitely worth the upgrade to get the, you know, the flipper built in already, and having the titanium scales. If you were to buy a regular Kwaiken and have it pimped, it would cost you a lot more money than this. So this is really a great value, a great deal. So, all right, guys. I think that's it for today. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. But yeah, definitely glad I picked this one up, and I'm going to be putting this in my rotation. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a good one.